Okay, we are recording. Welcome to April Mentorship. Super excited to have you ladies here. Um, yeah, we are going to have 3 calls in a row. So 3 Sundays in a row, we are going to get you guys together and just talk about where we're at. I think that if you want to get the most from these, following the action steps and the action items that are in the mentorship is going to be really important. But regardless of where you're at, come hop on these calls because it's powerful to just be in community together. So, welcome. You are officially a CEO. You are a coach. You have taken the scary jump to decide to start your own business. And whether you feel like that's what you're doing yet or not, we want to really help you get comfortable with that decision and get excited about the opportunity that's ahead for you, and have you really just self-assess over the next 3 weeks about what you want out of this. So, the most important part of you deciding to do this is your personal journey with health and fitness, with these programs, with these products. Your journey is now your job. And that is one of the very best things about coaching, is that you're forced to treat your journey like your job. So many women over the course of the 3 years that I've been doing this, and I know for Erin and all the other coaches on here too, it's a constant message in the inbox like, oh man, I don't know how you're so consistent. I don't know how you have been able to do this and wake up at this same time every day. Like, I wish I had that motivation. I wish I had that consistency. It's so easy in my eyes to see. I have to show up because I'm a coach. I made the decision to take this business seriously, equals my journey is my job, equals showing up is the non-negotiable part of being a coach. It is by far the greatest benefit of any job I've ever had in my entire life, that as a coach, you are forced to show up for yourself, no excuses, and treat your journey like your job. So I want you to take a check on where you're at with this. Have you been treating your journey like your job? Or are you sharing one day and not the other, and not, pressing snooze and I'll get it done another day? Where are you at in that process? How are you treating your journey today? And what shifts do you need to make in order to make this your job, in order to make your journey your job? I want to talk a little bit about the differences between what we call a hobby coach and a working coach. So another big question that people always ask, and I think that network marketing kind of gets a bad rap for well, how much does it cost to be a coach? How much am I going to have to spend every month? And for me, it's such a silly question because the goal is to make money. I want you ladies making money this month and next month, and seeing that income grow month after month after month. I want you to wake up in a year and be like, shit, this is actually contributing to my household. That's the goal here, right? So if you treat this like a hobby, hobbies cost money. Do you need to purchase Shakeology every month to be approved for the product? Yeah, you should. Is that going to cost you money? Yeah. Is it going to pay for itself if you at least enroll 3 women? Yes. So if you treat this like a hobby, hobbies cost you money. If you treat this like a business, that's a business cost. And you actually get to consume it. So it's a pretty awesome business cost that's going directly into your body, right? That's going to do amazing things for your journey, help you be approved for the product. So are you a hobby coach? Are you going to treat this like a hobby and it's going to cost you money every month? Or are you a working coach? And if you're a working coach, you're diving into the training. You're taking this seriously. You're showing up. You're doing the sort of the things that we're suggesting you do in this training, because if you do that, it's going to sort of get you started on how to create this business properly. Beachbody really lays out, the different ranks, and with the training and Success Club and all these types of things. And I see often some people come in and be like, well, people just want the videos. They don't want the challenge pack. Why are they forcing me to this Success Club thing? I just want you to ask all the questions that come up for you, but to really understand that we've gone through these too, and ultimately Beachbody puts these sort of ranks and Success Club stuff in place to help you build a well-rounded business. I promise you, if a woman joins with just the videos, Or she joins with a challenge pack, gets the containers, gets the nutrition plans, gets Shakeology, sort of buys in with the full solution. I promise her results are going to be better. Her buy-in's going to be better. And her likelihood to make this a lifestyle is going to be greater. And that is then going to maybe have her be a valued member in your community, maybe want to enroll as a VIP member to continue taking these, maybe even start to be curious about what it is to be a coach. So whereas I think a lot of people are like, oh, they just want the videos. It's actually kind of your job to encourage women to give themselves a chance at the total solution. Help be a coach to the women that are interested and show them by being a proof of the product what it could feel like to maybe go all in on themselves and give the full solution a chance. So that's why I think Success Club's important, because it's sort of forcing you to put your coach hat on and to onboard women properly with the total solution, and then help you build a well-rounded business as a byproduct of that. One thing that I think is going to be really important, we talk about this with our client groups, is like, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? Is it to lose weight? Is it to like live longer so you can play with your kids? You know, what's your why? I also want you to think about that in your coach journey. Why are you doing this? You know, a lot of people, I started because I wanted to be accountable to my fitness journey. I wanted to lose the rest of the weight. I felt if I put myself out there on social, I was going to be like embarrassed into following through. You know, that actually worked for me. I ended up losing 100 pounds because I felt too embarrassed to not show up, because I'd already said like, I'm doing this thing. So how lame would it be if I like didn't do the thing, you know? Think about that when you're showing up or not showing up on this platform. Like if you've done a coming out post, which I think is in the action items, right? Which Erin's going to talk about a little bit. If you've done that, well, now people aren't just going to be like, oh yeah, what are you doing? Sign me up. No, now they're watching you, right? They're like almost waiting for you to not show up and to fail, right? It's like human nature, almost like train wreck status. Like, oh, here we go. What's she doing, you know? But if you actually had the courage to then follow that through with day after day after day after day after day after day after day of showing up and being a proof of the product, that's where you become an inspiration and people start to join you and this ball starts rolling. So if you really understand why you're doing this, it's going to help you show up in these moments where you might not want to, where the excuses are creeping in, where you're doubting yourself because no one's joining or people are ghosting. You know, I didn't understand the financial impact this business could have until way further in to the business. But if you are a household that could use extra money, this is a massive opportunity for you. So do not discount that. If you could use extra money, do not discount the possibility that this could bring to your life. So think about your why: financial, personal, you know, whether this really is to be accountable, all the different sort of facets of your life. Maybe it's community. Guys, our coach community is unlike any other. Right now, you're just in this small April chat, but we have, you know, larger chats and hopefully soon group events and, you know, so much to it. So think about why you're doing this. And then the last thing I'm going to sort of chat about before I pass it over to Erin is the infamous, I'm going to see how it goes. So over the course of this 3 weeks, I want you to set some goals for this business. Most, like 99% of the women that join these groups, join the mentorship, are just going to like see how it goes, because it's so comfortable for us to say that instead of saying, I want to make $500 a month doing this, or I want to be an Emerald coach with it before I finish this mentorship training. It's so much easier to say, I'm going to see how it goes, because then there's actually no pressure on us achieving any real goal that we set out, right? Whereas if you actually do set a goal, and you don't need to state that here, but maybe you message your coach, that would be huge accountability. If I have a coach that messages me and says like, okay, I want to be Emerald so that I can start to collect leads and do all the things that Emerald provides, then I'm going to hold them to it. I'm going to message them and be like, okay, where are we at? Let's brainstorm. How can we get there? Who are the prospects? Who are your people in your life? You know? If you just hold that inside you and nobody knows that you actually have any goals in this business, it's really hard to be stronger together. So think about what you want out of this business. Be bold enough to share that with your coach and maybe set a small goal. And I promise that's going to help you make the most out of this training. Um, if you guys have any court share your financial income story with Josh this year, yeah, like when I was, you know, I sort of treated my income in this business like I always say, like a Gucci fund. Like my husband made great money working in for the casino industry here. He had worked for a casino for 18 years and was a senior vice president. And then a local casino company recruited him to go over and be their CMO, their chief marketing officer. It was like a massive, massive income opportunity for us. He went over there, he worked there for just a little under 2 years. And then a month before COVID, they let him go. And it was just like, it was ruthless. It was gut wrenching. Like he had left, he had worked for MGM for 20 years. He'd put like his heart and soul in there and he never would have left, you know, and he went over for this opportunity and it just was like taken away like that. And then a month later, COVID hit. So all of a sudden the Beachbody was our only income. And like, I know for a fact, like he hadn't really been taking this income seriously because we didn't need it, but all of a sudden we did. And then, you know, with some momentum that Aaron and I had already created in our businesses, COVID actually really moved our business forward. And I started to make incredible money. Like I'm talking like 20K a month with Beachbody. So you never know. Some people say, I don't need the money in this business, but you never know what's ahead for your family. And honestly, if you just put the time in and build this business, that the opportunity is beyond what I ever expected. So, yeah, Erin, I'm going to pass it to you.
Awesome. Yeah. I love when you share that because I don't think people realize the opportunity. And I know that you said, you know, like, don't take advantage of the opportunity, the financial opportunity you have here. And it's true. You really can make a lot of money, and, you know, insert income disclaimer here, but you probably aren't going to make it in your first year. You actually, I can guarantee you, aren't going to make crazy money in your first year. In fact, it might like feel like you're working way harder than you're making money, right? Like you might be putting in so much effort and your money's down here. And lo and behold, if you keep putting so much effort, it kind of starts going like this, where the money becomes less than the effort. And that's entrepreneurship, right? You have to continuously put it in order to get your momentum going, in order to build your business. I remember when I first started, my husband said, he's like, do not expect to make money out of this in the first 3 years. He's like, no entrepreneur makes money in their first 3 years. So I really went into it with that mindset of being like, all right, I'm going to give this at least 3 years. And in 3 years, I'll see how much money I'm making. I'll see where I'm at. And then at that point, I'm going to make a decision. I see a lot of women who come in, they're gung-ho, they're excited, they come, they finish a challenge, they do another, they have some friends start, they join, they get like super like razzed up and jazzed up for everything. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh man, nobody else is joining me. This isn't working, I guess. And then they quit before they even get there. I'm telling you now, you have to give this 3 to 5 years. And in 3 to 5 years, then decide. Because you're not going to feel crazy successful in your first month, your second month, your first 6 months. And I just want to preface it by saying that, because I do think that a lot of this does take a level of commitment. Because like Courtney said, people, once you start you put your coach announcement out there, maybe you start inviting some people, and then people are going to, like, you planted those seeds and now they're going to watch you, and they're going to keep watching you. And sometimes it takes people 6 months to a year, 2 years to be like, okay, I want to do this too. But it takes people time. I want you to think about how long it took you to decide to coach. And now start thinking about that when you go and ask other people to coach too. Okay? So one of the things I want to talk about first is that in this business, you can get really sucked into all of the trainings. There's hours upon hours of videos and trainings in the back office. They're amazing, by the way. On YouTube, every top coach shares all of their trainings. We have coach calls. Our upline, Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick, they do coach calls. Like, you could spend your entire week, all week, just watching calls and soaking in the podcast, soaking in all the training. and it's not going to make you any money. I want to tell you now that this business is a do, then learn. It's not a learn, then do. You're not going to watch all the videos and then be like, okay, I'm going to do it. You learn in this business by doing, failing, looking like an idiot, redoing, being like, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. It's an action business. The only way you're going to make money in this business is if you ask people to join you. The only way people are going to know what you're doing is if you open your storefront and tell people what you're doing. If you don't do any sort of, hey, I'm a coach now, post or something, people have no idea what you're doing. Even if you're showing up and sharing your workouts on social media, people are like, oh, good for you. You need to let people know what you're doing. You need to like start taking action. And Courtney and I have switched over this mentorship training so many times over the last 3 years. And ultimately we've come down to doing that action plan, that to-do action list, because it's the best way to get you going. The best way for you to start this business is to start doing the things. So if for nothing else, print off that action plan every week and start checking off the things each week. Okay, number 2, just before I even get started, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. Like, this is a safe space. This is your time with us. We want to make sure that you're getting out of this what you need. If you have questions, if you have burning things on your mind, you're like, I have no idea how to do this, like truly write it down in the chat here. Stacy, the action plan is in our coach mentorship chat. If you scroll to the top, I shared the training. There's a link to it in there. So drop your questions here. We want to make sure that this is useful for you. Show of hands, how many people here have another job? Or like have kids, have other things going on? Okay, pretty much everybody. Is my internet unstable? I feel like maybe I'm glitchy. Sorry if it is. Okay. If I was the same, I worked full time when I started this business. I had 2 kids, all the things. I had no time for this business, like 0 time. So what I did is I ended up was like this all the time. Like, my family didn't see my face. They just saw this. And it didn't help anybody. I was constantly on my phone, constantly working all day, every day. It didn't work. Your family will eventually get annoyed by you. So what you need to do truly is figure out when you're going to work this business and set actual office hours for you. So just like your regular job, if you work your regular job, say 9 to 5, you look at your calendar for the week and figure out when are the hours you're going to work this coaching business and stick to it. So for me, I worked it on my lunch hour. And I worked it when my kids went to bed at night, like 8 to 10 every night. So 8 to 10 every night, I would sit at a desk, like not at the couch. I would sit at a desk and treat it like a business. I would treat it like my office hours. And I knew for sure I wouldn't not show up to my business during the day. So to my day job, I'm not showing up to my business at night. Like, entrepreneurship is it. It's you. It's you showing up for your business. You are the face of this business. It's for you to show up to. If you choose to skip out on your office hours, you are not showing up at your job and your business isn't going to actually do well. That's just the end of it. So really encourage you to look at your calendar for the week and find out when you're going to work this business and make your office hours, stick to it, and tell your family when they are so that everybody knows when you're working this business. Okay? All right. From here, one of the biggest things you can do during your first week or first few weeks is start to list out all the people in your life. It said that the average person knows 2,500 people. So I'm sure there are people here that are like, I don't have that many friends. Like, especially this year, like, I feel like I don't even have any friends anymore because I see nobody, right? But you have people in your life and you have people in your life who need this. So I would get out just like a sheet of paper and start writing out everybody's names, writing out all the women you know, writing out all the people you used to go to high school with, writing out all the people that you know could benefit from this. Sometimes going through your Facebook friends helps, or your Instagram friends or whatever, but start writing out all the names of all the people that you know. And those are the people you're going to connect with and invite to doing this with you. I also encourage you for me, I had a lot of people on Facebook that I didn't have on Instagram. And it ultimately felt like I was running my business on Instagram and Facebook felt really private. So I really encourage you to blend them. There are different people on different platforms. Make sure that each platform is following you. Start following and reconnecting with people. It's not to say that you're going to follow these people and then say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach. Do you want to join me? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Add them and reconnect with them like a regular human. How are you? Oh my God, where are you living now? Do you have kids? How this last year been? Like, be a regular human, reconnect with them. Do not mention Beachbody. But from there, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want whiteout on that. Sorry. And then from there, they're going to watch your stories. They're going to watch your stories, and you're going to start showing up every single day in your stories. You're going to share your workouts in your stories. You're going to share the highs, the lows, the joy, everything. And from there, they're going to watch you. And as you continue to reconnect with these people and stay in contact, the conversation very naturally can change to health and wellness, working out at home, what things are doing, because that's what you're doing. It's so obvious. It's the elephant in the room. But it takes doing both. It takes showing up every day on your stories and sharing what you're doing and connecting with humans like a regular person in the messages. Okay? So I really encourage you to write out your list of 100 people and start connecting with people. Start checking in. Like, especially if you live in Ontario right now. How many people live in Ontario? Few. People need this right now. I would beg to say people across the whole world need this right now. People need connection. So don't hesitate to reach out and start connecting with people. If every single day you set your office hours, you sit down to work and you're like, I don't know what to do, this is what you're going to do. This business activity tracker. They call it the Success Club System Tracker. I believe this is posted in our training. It's Beachbody's like every day, what you should be doing every single day. It lists out the 4 vital behaviors for a coach, which are be a proof of the product, connect, invite, follow up, get people results, and do personal development. Guys, do personal development is on there for a reason. If you're not like totally going deep into reading, listening to podcasts, or like figuring out your SHIT, you need to start doing that. I laminated mine because then I just use it week after week, the same one. You can print it off, or they now have a virtual electronic one that's in the coach back office. In fact, if you use that one right now, they're doing this huge, I don't know if you guys saw the Take Action Challenge, and they're giving away so many free prizes and free money to people who click off their business activity tracker in the back office. Like, it's literally no brainer. Click it off and you will be entered into winning money. Courtney, did you have your hand up? Did I miss something?
I just wanted to say that that everybody should be using the electronic version. And if you click off at least 50% of the tasks each day, then you're entered in to win. And if you don't know where that is, when you log into your coach office, go to training and then Success Club System. And that's where that is. And that's where, and then it says Success Club System Activity Tracker, and you click on that and then it'll have you check it off.
Okay, so from here, in your first month as a coach, you have ultimately 2 main goals. And I want to talk about these just to make sure that everybody is clear on what they are. Your first goal is to hit Success Club. And every single month, it's the same goal. In order to hit Success Club, that means signing up 3 people with a challenge pack. Every single time you sign up someone with a challenge pack, you'll get 2 points. So 3 challenge packs is going to get you 6 points. And to hit Success Club, you're either hitting Success Club 5 or Success Club 10. If you hit, the only difference between Success Club 5 and Success Club 10 is the quality of referrals you're going to get from Beachbody. So when people go onto the website and just sign up for Beachbody on their own, they're always still given a coach. So those coaches are assigned to people who hit Success Club and who are Emerald coaches. The second one is your second goal is hitting Emerald. And Emerald is when you have 2 coaches underneath you, one on your left leg and one on your right leg. There's so many trainings on this in the back office, so I don't want to get into the details of it. But your goal ultimately is to sign up 2 coaches underneath you to get you to Emerald, so you could start A, getting referrals, and B, getting opening up the compensation plan so you can start making team volume bonuses. At this point, for Courtney and I, we like right now, as you're signing people up with challenge packs, you're making that 25% commission. Every single time somebody signs up, you'll make a commission off the challenge pack. But eventually, as you build a team and the team all together starts making more volume, you're going to be making team volume bonuses. So ultimately, at this point, what I was going to say is that Courtney and I are making commissions for sure off the sales we make, but we're also making team volume bonuses off of all of the volume that all of us make together. So you don't actually make any of that team volume bonuses until you're at Emerald. So Emerald is really important to get to so you can actually start making the full compensation of this compensation plan. Ultimately, I'll just go over it quickly unless there's some questions in the chat. You do have a left leg and a right leg underneath you. Those are only for coaches. It's not your challengers. Like when you sign up a new member, they're not going on your legs. It's just coaches. And your left or right is shared with the coach who signed you up. So if your coach signed you up and put them on their left leg, then that would be your strong leg. That's the leg that you guys are going to share together, and we're all adding coaches to that same leg. Your weak leg is going to be the one that you build on your own. And like I said, there's so many trainings on this in the back office. You can start watching, but it's stuff that you don't need to get into right now. Truly this month, I would focus on getting to Success Club and signing up a few coaches. With the launch of Let's Get Up next week, there's a massive opportunity to start signing up a few coaches who want to test out that program and do it first. So to get you to your first rank, which is amazing. Having any friends or family sign up with you as a coach next week is a no-brainer. They'll get access to the new program and it'll help you get to your first rank. If there's any question, did I miss any questions in the chat?
There was one, Terry was just saying, like, is there recommended social media tips? Like, it really is something that you just got to start doing, you know? Like, when I started this, I'd never posted an Instagram story, and it was like, oh, you know? And there, we do have some videos about social media, but it changes every day. So they're almost outdated, you know? I think one of the biggest things, you know, just as a non-negotiable going forward is our weekly coach calls on Wednesday evenings. We try to always be talking tips and different stuff for the business. And I think in there you'll get some social media inspo. But if it's something like specific, like how do I, you know, add music to a story, ask in the chat, you know? Or like if it's something, you know, if it is something really specific like that, like type it into Google, you know, that's really how I learned. But really leaning on each other, like that's not a stupid question to ask in the chat. It's not. Because a lot of women that start coaching weren't using social media like this. That's fair, right? A lot of women that start coaching like weren't posting at all. So you've gone from not posting at all to now using it as a business tool. Like all those questions are fair game. So don't ever feel silly about asking any of those questions. But in terms of like sitting down to like learn social media tips, I think it's really just like do, you know. One of the things I would say is when you're posting stories, you know, so like say this is going to be my story. And then I go to this sticker button. Use as many of these different things as you can. Start to get comfortable with adding a GIF or even just adding the timestamp or using the poll feature. The poll feature is incredible because it's going to people aren't comfortable yet engaging with you on this fitness thing, right? They're like, what the heck are you doing? I'm watching, like, I'm going to ghost you, right? But the poll feature you can start to use and start to see who wants to engage with you about other things. Do a poll about something totally unrelated, right? So start to use all these different little functions and you'll get more comfortable with it along the way. Does that help, Terry?
I was going to add the biggest tip, and it might not be a big tip, but the biggest tip is just to be yourself. Is to be truly yourself. Like put your blinders on to what everybody else is doing. Unfollow anybody that you feel like it makes you feel like, oh, I should be doing that, and just authentically be yourself. You can't make your Instagram all about fitness. It can't be all about fitness. If you all of a sudden go from being absent on social media, or maybe it's just pictures of your kids, or maybe it's just vacation pictures or whatever, to all of a sudden now just being a fitness account, people are going to be like, oh, I'm not into this. I didn't sign up to follow Terry's fitness account. It has to be your life sprinkled in fitness. It can't be fitness and then a little bit of your life. Like it still needs to be you sharing your life like you normally would have, and sprinkling in how you have like all the other aspects that you're doing for your business. Sharing every day on stories, and trying to share a post at least a few times a week. If not, like honestly, the goal is every day, if not every other day. So try and as much as you can to start sharing more. The more consistent you are, the more top of mind you are, the more likely people want to keep watching you. Consistency is a must. Sharing your workout every day honestly is for me, it's a bare minimum. But forces me also to share other aspects of my day. If you can look at yourself and say, okay, what is working for me and how can I share this like value to other people, that's what I would do, so that people now start looking at your page as a source of value, source of ideas, source of inspiration, source of entertainment, whatever your angle is. But show up as you. Show up as you.
And one other thing too is like, I dare you to speak to the camera. You know, that took a lot of us a while, and it feels uncomfortable, but it's almost like shock value. Like people are going to be like, what did you say? You know? And it, again, not, it doesn't need to be about this, but just about whatever. Look at the lens, not yourself. Like I still don't do that. You always say that. I still don't do that. I like looking at myself. It makes me feel better.
It's really distracting though. Like you can tell when someone's just looking down at themselves versus like really connecting with the lens. You connect more with the audience. So you will distract yourself more too if you're watching yourself. Look at the actual camera lens and think about talking to your friend. Think about talking to somebody that you know, or if you're really uncomfortable about it, do something else while you're talking. So like maybe it's while you're cooking, or maybe it's while you're putting on your running shoes, but distract yourself so it's more natural.
And post the first take, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, 100%. The first take's always the best, even if you saw a spider and it's weird, like you just post it and move on. But I hope by now everybody has done their coming out post and announced to the world that you're a coach. If you haven't done that, nobody knows and you're not going to be successful. And I hope I know that that's blunt and in your face, but it's true. Your business is not open until you start telling people that it's there. So if you want to be successful in this, you need to actually tell people what you're doing and just go for it. It sounds really hypocritical because I never did. The first 6 months of my business, I tiptoed. I never did a coming out post. I was so awkward. People had no idea what I was doing. And I like infrequently hit Success Club because I was so unclear. If you want to do this and you want to do it well, you just have to own it. People will respect you more if you own it and go for it and do the thing, versus kind of sort of maybe sometimes it's what's she doing? Own it, post it, go for it, say this is what you're doing, and people will applaud you. If you respect it, they will too. All right, we're out of time. Was there another question? Yeah, if there's any other questions, please drop them now. We want this to be of value for you guys. So like Courtney said, we have our calls every single Wednesday night. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to get the event listing in there because we're still thinking about what the call is going to be about, but rest assured, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. EST, we are there. All right, guys. Awesome first call. Hope you guys have a great day. Oh, wait, I wanted to take a pic. I didn't get to. Court, did you? All right, everyone's cheese. All right. Have a great day, guys. Take care.